The Avs played quality hockey for maybe like a combined 5 minutes of this hockey game. Maybe that much. And they won. What do you even say about this team at this point? Avs win over the Vegas Golden Knights 3-2.
Alex Newhook!
Oh boy.
Whoa!
The Avs currently sit with a 775 points percentage on the season. For the record, if they can keep that up through the end of the year, in the modern era of 82-game seasons, that would be the second best points percentage ever. So make no mistake, you're witnessing something special here. Enjoy it. This was not a good game for the Avs. I think the number of players who really played well tonight, you can count on one hand. Darcy Kemper, Val Nichushkin, and Alex Newhook are the only ones that I feel really good about their games as a whole. Other players had good moments. You could maybe throw Jack Johnson on that list too. I think that's fair. But for most of the night, the entire Avs team looked exhausted and uninterested in playing good hockey. And even when they wanted to play good hockey, which wasn't often, they were making sloppy plays. They weren't connecting. They were making simple mistakes that, yeah, some of that can be attributed to the back-to-back, but it also just wasn't very good hockey. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter at all, because this team just wins hockey games no matter what. Being on a back-to-back is not an excuse either for the Avs. Vegas was also on a back-to-back here, so the playing field was level in that regard, and honestly, the Avs got outplayed in every single period of this hockey game. Shots were 36-21 in Vegas's favor. The Avs had a first period with just 6 shots on goal, and a third period with just 3 shots on goal. More on that later. In these videos, I sit here and I like to go through the entire Avs game. Even in wins, I like to cover the negative side of things. I'm running out of reasons to do that, because somehow the Avs can play terribly and still just win, because they turn it on for 30 seconds in the third period and win the game. It's actually ridiculous. I'm at a loss. Statistics point to the fact that this probably isn't sustainable. The Avs can't keep comeback winning every single game in the third period, but they keep doing it, so it's sustainable until it's not. And no team is perfect, and you're not going to look at this game and be happy with the way that the Avs played, but you're happy as hell that they won the game. This team has that something. You can't put it into words. It's not tangible. It's not a thing that makes sense. It's that something. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. It's got it. In this game, it might be Darcy Kemper working his way into the Vezina conversation. He does give up 2 goals in the first period, but neither of them are his fault by any stretch of the imagination. The Avs, if you could start a game on time, eventually here, that'd be nice. 4 minutes into the first, they are down 1. Erik Johnson is shooting a puck from the point. What do you think the odds are of this getting to the net? Pretty low, right? Correct. This shot does not make it through. It kicks out hard, and EJ gets caught standing at the blue line, not ready to react. He's not young and spry anymore. He just gets completely torched on the back check. Doesn't even get close enough to even try and interrupt this opportunity, and that's that. Kemper gets beat on the breakaway. Is it a great goal? No, but it's a breakaway. I think expectations this year are relatively low for Erik Johnson. There's one thing you're asking him not to do, and it was that. That's it. End of list. And I do still think Erik Johnson is an NHL caliber defenseman, probably a bottom pairing one at this point, and can help the Avs, but you have to look at a play like that and you just need more. Thankfully, Andrei Burakovsky is good at scoring goals again now, so he gets the Avs back tied in this game, and I do think this is a very important goal. The Avs have mastered the art of scoring just after a power play expires, and I know I've said a few times I don't like Girard on the half wall on the far side here, but him and Newhook actually play off of each other extremely well here multiple times. First, you have this one with getting it to the middle and Newhook. Newhook's able to step up and get it back to the point as they reset. They're going to go back to Girard again, where Newhook has found the soft spot. They caught the forward out high. Newhook does not get a very good pass here from Girard. He has to take it off of the skate, but he's able to adjust and reset to get this over to Burakovsky, who's now all alone as everyone has committed back to Newhook, and Berkey is the one who's able to finish here. He's confident again, baby. The reason this goal was important for the Avs is on a back-to-back, when a team gets down by 2 goals, it becomes extremely difficult to come back. You just don't have the energy in the tank to really force it that much. So getting the game back to tied, at least for the moment, is a huge difference. That keeps the Avs in the game and engaged. One play is all it takes to score 1 goal. That can happen because you get lucky, because of some nonsense, all the time. We watch it happen for ridiculous reasons all the time in the NHL. 2 goals, that takes work. The Avs don't like having leads this early, though. They like being choked, so a minute and a half later, they go back down. Devon Toews just doesn't make a decision here. He walks through the neutral zone, runs himself into trouble, and tries to flip a puck in a panic that ends up getting knocked down while his momentum is going the other way. The Avs, kind of lazy as well. All 3 forwards just standing at the blue line waiting for Toews to do something. That's how you give up a 3-on-1 opportunity. It's a 3-on-1. You're not in a good spot here. Makar probably could have defended the passing lane a little bit better. He struggles to do so. It gets across, and at that point, there's just no hope for Darcy Kemper. I'd be lying if I said this team wasn't incredibly frustrating, but that's sports, right? Sometimes you have the frustrating moments to have the awesome victories. And I can only sit here and say that the Avs are capable of better so many times, because you know they are, but you also know that it doesn't matter. You can dive through every advanced statistic in the book. The Avs have the only statistic that matters in this game, and that's more goals when the clock hits 0. So the Avs kind of just weathered the storm through the rest of the first period and get out only down 1. The second period, virtually nothing happened. Jack Johnson did hit a post, or maybe it was deflected one way or another. That's the big post number 50. Avs have actually not been hitting too many of those lately. They're under a post per game, so I guess that's good. The period in which nothing happened was arguably the Avs' best, so I don't know if that's encouraging or not. You can take whatever you want from that, but they at least had a little bit of energy. They showed a little bit of effort. It looked like a competitive game, and I think that's maybe both teams kind of leveling off on the back-to-back. The third period comes, as I mentioned, the Avs had 3 shots on goal, and somehow 2 of them end up in the back of the net. They put the effort in for a grand total of about, I'll give them 45 seconds, maybe a minute. It was a good shift for that first goal. And then 30 seconds later, they just kind of score within a 5-second little play. And that was all. That's all they needed. How do you break this down? On a night where the Avs really struggled to have sustained offensive zone possession, they do a good job of it on this shift. Credit to this fourth line. I don't think they had a very good night on the whole, but this shift, they got in deep, they worked hard, and they generated something. They're eventually able to get it back to the point. This is kind of the third line, I guess. It's hard to say. The Avs lines were completely in flux tonight, but this line worked hard. They get it back to Jack Johnson. Johnson goes bombs away, and you can't see it just off screen here, but JT Compher, as the shot's coming in, just slips in behind the defenseman, has his stick completely free to put the perfect tip on this puck and tie the game. To this point in the game, the Avs' best players have played like straight up dog water, but it takes 1 second of falling asleep on these guys and they completely burn you. First, a great stick check by Cale Makar in the defensive zone to stop Vegas and get the Avs going the right direction. That's picked up by Burakovsky, who quickly moves it up to Rantanen. They're already set up. On the flip of a dime, they're hitting their breakout play where Rantanen sends it to the middle to Cale and McKinnon is going up the far wall, and they play it perfectly. McKinnon just kind of disappears on Vegas. They get caught a little bit not covering him. Makar recognizes it and does it quick enough so he doesn't run himself out of space. He gets it over to McKinnon, and McKinnon bombs one through Brossoit. There's like 4 things that matter to have a good Stanley Cup run. You need good goaltending. Obviously, the Avs have been getting that. You need your best players to be your best players. Obviously, the Avs have been getting that. You need quality defense. The Avs actually didn't get a lot of that tonight, but on the whole, this year, they've gotten a ton of that. And you need your depth scoring. That is a key factor that the Avs got tonight from JT Compher. And that is really the difference in the game. Yes, I know McKinnon scored the game-winning goal, but when you look at what the Avs have been lacking over this last little stretch, you want to see more depth option scoring. When they get it, they can play terribly and win. It's actually stupid. I don't know what else to tell you. When the Avs play like this, when they're winning at a rate like this, all you can do is sit back and enjoy it, because they just find ways to win pretty much no matter what. They have the least regulation losses of any team in the league. They now have a 4-point lead on anyone for the President's Trophy. They're completely running away with the West is over. The Avs have won the Western Conference. They could play 500 hockey for the next 2 months and still might win the Western Conference. It's dumb. I'll end this by saying the Avs are the best team in the NHL. It's as simple as that. Okay? Okay. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Head on over to DNVR.com for all of our coverage. I am Rudo, and at least there wasn't 17 goals in this hockey game.
Avalanche time, come on, grab your friends. We're going to the playoffs again with Nate the dog and Gabe the big. The fun isn't over yet. It is Avalanche time.